Hey everybody, I'm going to be posting an Instagram story every day for the next 2 weeks as part of my ambassadorship agreement with CognitiveFX. Right now I'm at the Cedar Rapids Airport and I am heading to Provo, Utah to get treatment for my brain injury. So right now I've got my UVM deck of cards and I'm going to try to remind myself how to play solitaire. Heading off to Dallas-Fort Worth. So, I am here in Provo, Utah now. Just got here after 12 hours of traveling. And when you stay at the recommended hotel that's associated, they have an agreement with CognitiveFX. It's the Residence Inn, Provo North. And I'm just going to show you what the room is like here. You get a discount when you sign up here. So they put you in one of these rooms. So you got your whole little kitchen dealie over here, full fridge, all this kind of stuff, and on and on and on. So that is where I'll be for the next 2 weeks. Now I'm just going to lay down because I'm super forgetful right now. Okay, so this is another report from day 0, which is the day before my CognitiveFX stuff starts. And it's funny making these videos because I'm just like, I have no idea if anyone's ever going to watch this stuff. So it might just be me talking to myself. And I just realized I should have this landscape oriented, but I don't really care right now. So I guess if I'm gonna actually make this, I mean, a lot of people do want to know what is it like to go to CogFX, and CognitiveFX is what you would need to Google if you don't know what CogFX is. And so, you know, I'm making it for those people who are like, what is it really like? Because I find that most reports you see are just when people do the video at the end. Like maybe they'll do a video of like, before they go, and then at the end of the week. And I'm always like, what was your life like before you went? Well, what happened while you were there? I don't, like, there's so much missing context. And I think, you know, a lot of people just want their journey to be more private, obviously. But, you know, I'm a documentary filmmaker and I'm not really like, with some things, I don't really care about privacy. I'm just like, document it, let people know. So, yeah, so today's day 0. Once I turn all this into a YouTube video, I'll have like my 3 videos from day 0 up there. Nothing too exciting happened today. Really, really tired. My head's hurting a lot. And I guess I just wanted to just reflect on what is going through my head, my brain. Oh, okay, so like here's a really wild thing. So on the flight from Dallas-Fort Worth to Provo, Utah, guess who I sat next to? This is insane, right? I ended up sitting next to a guy who lives close by to Provo, and he was about my age, and he was involved with functional MRI scans and like experimental use of functional MRI scans back in like 2002, like when the whole thing was just starting. This guy was involved with research, I think when he was still in school, in college, and a resident. And so he just, you know, he's been thinking about this stuff since then. So like over 20 years, and he is a consulting radiologist now, still to this day. And so we just had this really wild conversation about, my main question to him was like, okay, can you confirm to me, is functional MRI scanning pretty much the only way that we can prove that some kind of damage has happened to your brain in terms of tracking the processing that's happening? And he's like, yeah, that's it. A regular MRI scan cannot do that. And I'm like, okay, so you're saying you've been, you know, doing, well, he's thinking about research, and there was research that was starting off in the early 2000s. So why is it that we're here now in 2025 and this known diagnostic tool for helping people understand their concussion severity and then targeting treatment, why are we still at a point where insurance won't even cover it? And he's just like, that's the state of insurance in this country. And insurance companies don't want to cover it. And that was really discouraging, because it's such a clear example, like known diagnostic tool placed out of reach of almost everybody. And so it was just so wild that out of all the people I could have sat next to, it was this guy that knows more than most people. And basically he also just shared that, like, given what he saw back in the early 2000s, it did look like, wow, this functional MRI thing is really going to take off and really help people study migraines and different types of brain injuries and really forward our thinking. Because, like, I was a caregiver for my mom who had dementia, and I'm like, why isn't everyone with dementia being given a functional MRI scan? Like, that's insane that we're not doing that. And I realize I'm getting on my soapbox here a little bit, but just at CognitiveFX, one of the things I love about it is that the foundation, the first thing you do when you start there is a functional MRI scan. And then the last thing you do is a functional MRI scan, so they can give you the before and the after. I already did my before in January, and so I won't get that tomorrow, but yeah, it's just really interesting. Just thinking about, why isn't this accessible to everyone? It's frustrating. I'm glad that I get this opportunity, but it's not right that everyone who could benefit doesn't get this opportunity. So, I guess I was also just gonna try to reflect on, like, all the things I've been through to get to this point, because I'm really good at normalizing physical pain and discomfort. As mentioned in another video, I broke my back. I partially crushed 2 vertebrae when I was 16 years old, and that's given me pain pretty much every day of my life since then. And so I've just had to learn to live with a lot of physical pain. And I've just really become good at just keeping it in the background, not letting it overwhelm me. And so I think that's kind of put me ahead with, that's a terrible pun, put me ahead with the brain injury stuff. Like he turned to me on the plane today, he goes, well, how often do you have headaches? Do you, is it regular? And I just laughed, because I was just like, I have a headache right now. I always have a headache. Like, I can count on one hand the headache-free days I've had since June 23rd. So it's kind of interesting being here thinking about things here on day 0, because in a lot of ways, like, I've learned to reduce my expectations to such a degree that my head hurting and losing my balance, like tonight when I was in the shower, I lost my balance and nearly fell because I forgot to have 3 points of contact. And then today I was walking across a parking lot to get some takeout food, and it was starting to get dark, and the street lights were just like, wah! And I basically, like, I was fighting the urge to just not run, like that I was like escaping space lasers. I was just like, it's so funny how I can go through a day and I look normal and I act normal, but like, I've just normalized it, but there's nothing really normal happening. I'm constantly fighting this fight to just sustain and keep on an even level and balance all my activities so I can keep this thing as fully functioning as possible. So I'm pretty excited to see what's in store. I'm very open-minded, and I'll be honest, like, I really, like, I didn't dig into exactly what they do here. I don't like the placebo effect, and so I wanted to pretty much go in blind. Now, I mean, that doesn't mean that I didn't watch some videos from other people that have been here, and that's what I was saying before. They just don't really give much detail. But still, it's nice not to have the details in a way, because then whatever benefit I receive will be honestly earned. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. That's my end of my day zero report, and I can't wait to turn off this light. Look at that light. Look at that light. Space lasers. Bad. Okay, bye.